Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel, and I appreciate you coming back. Today we're going to look at something that, something that I'm trying to get organized here. So this represents sort of what's been going on in January of 2026 for my channel and in general, just some things in my life. So let's get into it. So let's first of all look at the thrift store finds that I picked up in January of 2026. This might be kind of a fun way of commemorating this month. So the first thing I found was this Acer Swift, and it was a kind of a funky system. I really wanted it to be more than it was, but unfortunately with this system, it was more about really substance or style over substance. It was super thin. It was kind of like a more modern laptop, but no upgradability path with this thing. So that was my first find. Then I came across the CM Storm mouse. I love these mouse from way back in the day. And so when I picked it up, I thought, oh, hey, if it works. These used to be kind of fun little mice for like the DPI settings and stuff are pretty good. Decent, sort of more modern gaming mouse, if you want to call it that. But I liked them, and it worked. So it was a good purchase. I had to add my own sliders because the sliders tended to kind of get just the way they're configured. They didn't slide very well on my my mouse mat. So I did that little kind of janky fix to it. Yeah, I got some laptop adapters. This was a 120 watt adapter. This was a 150 watt adapter, both of them HP. They're useful for when you get a system for HP that wants an HP adapter. These type of adapters are really essential in order to use certain systems, and I tend to pick up all kinds of stuff at the thrift store, so I grabbed those. Then of course I came across the a Cooler Master Master Keys Pro LGB oh my god, RGB keyboard. So this is a mechanical keyboard with mechanical switches, the Cherry MX type. Another one with Cherry MX switches was their quick fire. It's a 10 key. It's like a 10. It's a funny one. It's a TK. It's like, it doesn't have arrow keys, but it has like a number pad. But you can switch it on so that it uses the number pad like arrow keys. It's kind of a weird one. But anyway, yeah, I found this thing. Very cool keyboard. And then I came across like a laptop bag. And the beauty of these laptop bags is I have so many laptops, I need to put them in something. So this laptop bag is nice and good quality. They sell them for about anywhere from $10 to $15. So I picked this one up. I think it was mid-range. It might have been $12 or $13. But it was in perfectly good shape, and it fits a couple laptops. So there you go. This is my trusted London Drugs USB hub. Can always use these. Pliers, yeah, exciting, eh? But you know what? These things are damn important, and the last time we had tradespeople in our house, my set of pliers disappeared, so this was a nice pickup. It was cheap, and yeah, fuller pliers. Yeah, so this is the more exciting stuff. This was a Windows 8 tablet. I've never had a Windows tablet. This was a huge, amazing find for me. I really like this thing, and impressed. It has like an Atom processor that doesn't require cooling. But wow, what a great processor for what it is. I mean, it's a laptop, or a tablet, but it's like a laptop, but it's actually pretty good for what it is. So very cool. Happy to find that. Power adapter tips. I have a bunch of power adapters, and some of them have tips, some of them don't. There was a bag of these tips. I picked them up. So it's really handy to have all these things, because if you pick up a lot of laptops and stuff from the thrift store, you better have stuff like this. Yeah, calculators. Why are you getting calculators? Well, calculators are kind of like a little thing I collect. And one of these days I'm going to have to do a video on it, but this is a pretty cool calculator that I picked up. I won't get into it. Yeah, this was cool. Another laptop. This was the a Pavilion DV7 laptop. This one works completely fine. Everything about it. Refurbed it, but never made a video about it. This will have to be obviously something I make a video about coming up. I made some shorts about it. Another calculator. These are really cool calculators. This is the newer update, and this is the old update. I found both of them. Old version. They have one of the best solar cells on the market, and they're great calculators. I'm just leave it at that. Whenever I run across a laptop adapter, I always pick it up. So this was a laptop adapter, a 45-watt one. I grabbed it, and of course, very cool ThinkPad X120E, which if you follow my channel, you'll see it. It was awesome. Awesome. That's all I'm going to say. Yeah, another calculator. Yeah, this was a bit of a disappointment. This was another DV7 I picked up, but it was really cheap, and I'm glad it was really cheap, because this guy has got a broken keyboard, so I can work around it, but definitely not the kind of thing I was hoping for. Yeah, we got ourselves another gaming type mouse. Been using this all month. Great mouse. No complaints. Love cheap mice. Here's another calculator. This is a classic, and it's got a little bit of roughness to the keys. There's a few things that are almost worn off, but these are great old calculators, and they have the dot matrix display, so they can actually these are really high functioning calculators. If you know anything about calculators, probably boring you. Moving on. This, talking about calculators, is like one of the coolest calculators you'll ever find. I'm not going to try and explain to you why that is. If you know, you know. It has to do with the way you enter calculations. I'm not going to get into it. It just has to do with these classic calculators that have been produced since the 80s, and they're awesome. Yeah, mice. I got this guy, picked it up for cheap. This one had a unifying receiver, so that's always a plus. And yeah, it's just a good solid mouse. Speaking of keyboards, mechanical keyboards, this is a classic, a PLU ML87, 10 keyless, with Cherry MX switches in underneath. Great keyboard. Is a classic. This was like, for the keyboard enthusiasts back in the day, this was a really awesome keyboard because it was cheap, yet it still had a high standard of quality, and it's like really heavy. It's a nice keyboard. And while I was shopping, I ran across Dracula, which I've always wanted to read. Never got around to reading it. This is a cheap version. This is what you'd call like one of these, because this is out of copyright. They sell them for like 3 for $10 at, a place like Chapters or Kohl's or whatever version of Barnes and Noble, I guess, if you're in the US. They're really cheap. I picked it up for like $2.50 or something. But yeah, it's going to be a part of my reading list in the future. And another laptop bag. Yeah, I'll have the laptop bag. Why do you get all these laptop bags? Well, if you collect a ton of laptops, you got to put them in something. Believe me, you can usually get a couple laptops per bag, and even like store the batteries, sometimes the chargers. Believe me, and you have 100 plus laptops, you want to put them in bags. It'll allow you to store them in a reasonable fashion. Also, it kind of protects them from getting too dusty and beat up and spiders, you know. And yeah, this is a no-name wireless charging mouse. I think they call it a Mamba, but it's not like the real, you know, Razer version. But yeah, works, takes a charge. Will definitely be my daily driver in February or March. This was a big highlight. This was the ThinkPad T420i, which I picked up and have refurbished. This was a real find. Didn't expect much from it. It was like $20 or something. Untestable because there's no adapter for it at the thrift store. Took a chance on it, brought it home, and it works perfectly. So sometimes you just win. And then sometimes you buy a laptop and it has no keyboard, functioning keyboard. This is another one. This was an Apple iPhone 4. These are classics. They're great music devices, and all you need is a clock radio with the same adapter in the bottom. There's a ton of them at thrift stores. You pick one up, they're usually about $10. Put this on top of it, and you've got yourself like one of the best, you know, music players you could ever imagine. And plus, if you put it somewhere, nobody's going to run around stealing this kind of shit. So it's a great music device. And yeah, moving on from what I got at thrift stores, this is back to, let's talk about what I did on YouTube this month. Well, I've been exploring shorts. Early in the month I tried another short, and I actually got 1,000 views or something, which is a far cry from what I get with my long form videos. So I thought, hey, it's time to try shorts. And I've been making a lot of shorts this month, and you know, I'm getting some into the thousands, some lower, but shorts seem to be what YouTube is promoting, so I'm giving it a try, right? Why not? It can't hurt to actually get some views. And yeah, I noticed some of the subscribers have increased, so yeah, cool. I gave a channel update about what I was trying to do with the channel. I'm kind of been experimenting a lot in 2025, going back to more standard stuff, and again the shorts thing. And I'll probably be going into Linux a bit more, because now that I've been using large language models to help me with Linux command line stuff and configuring things, it's changed the game. Linux isn't such a horrible system to work with. Now if you got a large language model to help you with the command line stuff you need to fix a driver issue or some sound card problem, whatever, it actually is pretty easy. So this could be the year of Linux with with the assistance of an AI. This was a video I made and I took down because nobody watched it, but it was basically me taking apart that Acer and trying to figure out if there was any upgrade options for this thing. And one of the things you discover when you buy a newer computer is you basically bought an iPhone. Nothing's expandable, nothing's improvable, nothing's upgradable. You just got what you got. And there it is. There's a video I made about this guy. This is the Acer. Bit of a disappointment, honestly. I kind of wanted to be able to do a little bit more with it, but whatever. It's a functioning laptop. It makes me realize I'm glad I buy the laptops I do, because there's going to be a time when you're going to have a bunch of laptops out there and they are what they are. I can always upgrade the other ones and keep them going forever. This, something goes on it, you're hooped. And did a video on the a question. I actually had a question for people. What Linux apps do you use? Now this got an interesting array of responses. Some saying, hey, there is no such thing as a Linux app. It can run on anything. It's true. I agree with that statement. A FOSS app it can run on anything. Typically though, when you have Linux, you tend towards certain apps that you would use instead of, if you're on Windows, you'd have a certain set of apps. If you're on Mac, you have a certain set of apps. So I just sort of like put it out there. And I got a really good array of interesting comments about that. So I was glad I did that video. Of course, didn't get that many views, but that's my channel. And, of course, I do videos about the things I collect. And this, of course, is a video about my Cooler Master setup that I was using that particular week. I reached 650 subs. Thank you very much for those who subscribe. It's not a priority in my life that I get to like 1 million subscribers or something, but if I ever do get to the point where I can actually monetize this channel, my promise to you is I will kill mid-roll ads if they give me the opportunity. I just want to kill mid-roll ads. I don't care about what I make on this channel. Just want to get rid of those damn mid-roll ads. Anyway, then I can make my videos longer. This is going to be a longie because end of the month. Alright, so I did a video about hard drives and wiping hard drives using like a DD command that kind of stress tests old drives to see, first of all, can get their firmware to mark off bad sectors, and to kind of give them a real push to see if they're going to like totally fail or what. So that was kind of a fun little project I did. I converted my MacBook Air from being a MacBook to being a Windows machine to Windows 7 because it's just so easy to convert it over. I did a video on this little tablet, Windows 8 tablet computer, very cool computer. Did a video on my broken keyboard laptop that I got. Did a video on this awesome ThinkPad X120E. Did a video on ReadyBoost. I always wondered, like, will ReadyBoost help a system that is quite limited running Windows 7? Does it really help that much? I remember using it with Vista on a system that just did not have any real memory. And it actually did help, but that was in a different era. That was more like the XP era. So what is it like under Windows 7? Well, my experience with that, I ran a couple tests, and we discovered it was like maybe 5% or less, so not significant. Some people commented that they got really good results. That they didn't tell me how they got them, so I don't know. But I always wonder about commenters because they seem to comment, but don't seem to back anything up with anything that I can test. So whatever. But yeah, interesting project. Of course, I had to do a social commentary on my social media about what the hell's going on with the Canadian-U.S. border and the relationship and everything else. I used to go across the border, pick up some books, spend a weekend there in Washington or go down to Seattle or whatever. I wouldn't cross the border if you paid me. Alright, moving on. Did a quick video on retro radio and some things that I saw at the thrift store that didn't do very well because long form videos. I wanted to do a short, but it had all these, they play music at the thrift store, so you're going to hit by copyright issues. So I tried to do that, and I thought, it's not going to work. So I did this short video, and of course it went nowhere because it's not a short, but it's a long video, but it's only 2 minutes, like YouTube. Yeah. Then of course I did a video on my classic ThinkPad 420i that I found. That was cool. And of course, now let's talk about projects. So yeah, I spent some time wiping and trying to fix or test, stress test a bunch of my hard drives that have errors and stuff like that. One of the ones that I fixed was this Samsung one. It went from having a lot of errors and not even allowing me to install Windows to being able to use it. So, interesting little thing about that DD command. Look it up with your favorite AI. that you can use this dd command in Linux to kind of like not reformat, but kind of write to every spot on the disk and get the firmware to kind of mark off what's bad. Yeah, it was a good project. Kind of reclaiming some of my old disks. Of course, I refurbished this tablet PC. That was really cool. Very happy with that. Of course, this project, refurbishing the broken keyboard laptop. This project, of course, doing the ReadyBoost tests. And then moving on to what I watched this January. I've been watching Alex Rider, Season 3 series on Prime. I like it. Fallout on Prime, also like it. Season 2. Frankenstein on Netflix. Interesting take on the Frankenstein thing. Troll 2 on Netflix. If you saw the first one, then this one isn't so bad, but, you know, nothing to write home about. This thing, I don't know, it's French, converted to English. I don't know, it's a mess. And this, which is an old movie that they say is 2023 or something, but really 2013. And it was like a pilot for maybe a TV series back in 2013. It's fun, it's goofy, and it's Vancouver. Yeah, and of course, Upgraded, a Prime thing to watch with, you know, a chick flick to watch with your significant other. And then the last thing I'll focus on is a really cool trip I took to a place called Deer Lake and Burnaby Lake in Burnaby. So I got a couple of shots and I'm using them sort of as my desktop for the month, and this is beautiful, like a beautiful skyline shot. This is a beautiful lake that it's sort of like a bird sanctuary. Just gorgeous place. And I'll leave you with that. That's going to be it for this video. Hope you enjoyed it. And I'll see you in the next one. Bye.